Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everyone. Minutes and claims, Mr. Auditor.
April 18th regular meeting minutes and the zoning minutes for same day.
Any corrections or additions?
I'll make a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all aye. Aye. Thank you.
Then I've got claims for April 15th through the 21st for $308,584.97.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved, all aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is for the claims? That's it. All right. On the agenda this morning is it's like a substantial change in health department rules and regulations. Could you please explain this?
Yep, it's for our food protection ordinance, so any establishment that is a food establishment that has to get a permit, we wanted to increase our fees. I worked closely with our board on this updated ordinance. We added in some new definitions based on some of the things that we're seeing, like farmer's market, home-based vendor, and those correspond with state rules that have been updated. With the fee increase, what we did was compare the fees to counties in like size and put the fees in line with theirs. And I have documents if you want to see those, if you want to see a document that shows what our old fees are.
And you hadn't raised the fees in a long time, right?
Right, 2012 was the last time we raised fees. And they were, I didn't raise them very much. It's across the board, anywhere from $20 to $50. But if you want, I hand wrote them in, but that shows old fees, new fees. One of the big differences is micro markets. Right now, they get a retail food license at $110. We have like 28 micro markets. So I lowered that fee, changed it to a micro market permit where it's $50 per micro market versus the $110. Micro market is a 15 linear feet vending machine area. So I didn't feel like it was right for them to be charged a retail food permit price when they're only doing vending. And then here's like our late fees and our operating without a permit, because we have that happen a lot. Establishments will open without coming to us to get a permit prior to, and they get fined. So it just raised it a little bit, so that maybe, because we have gas stations that change ownership all the time, they don't file the proper paperwork.
What about trucks, a truck and food trucks? Are they under a different?
So it's called a mobile. So we have a mobile food license, and they can get a yearly for that, or they can get a temporary. Temporaries go with events, and that was something else that I defined in the definitions, is what an event is. Our board did see this. Like I said, we worked hand in hand with them, and they approved it, passed it at the last board meeting last Wednesday. Yeah.
Could something be put in there to address the food and beverage tax? I think this is really the only point at which that could be enforced. I suspect that there's a lot of, like your micro markets or whatever that aren't paying that. Some in there that can make sure that before they get their permit, they're registered with the Department of revenue to pay that.
I'm trying to think of where that would be a good place for that. All establishments that get a permit with us, except for temporaries, they have to do a plan review. Right now,
The temporaries are like fair,
they're like tents, where they only can set up for a certain amount of time.
those are some of the ones I'm really worried about.
I guess we could,
Just talk about it and see.
yeah. We do a revision with the board. I'll have to get with you on that, see what we need to put in for the verbiage.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it seems like there'd be, before you could issue the permit, you gotta show proof that you registered with the Indiana Department of Revenue to pay sales tax including beverage.
I know that, Department of Revenue has reached out to us and wanted a list of all of our vendors that have mobiles. Make sure that they're paying their taxes.
I can sometimes twist, it's like pulling teeth to get a report out of them about who's paying.
Mhm.
You know, go through that report, I don't like to see fairground vendors and festival vendors. Those are the ones I think are the most notorious not paying it. They blow your time to get out before they pay.
Okay. Any other questions?
So this is just an amendment to the ordinance.
Right.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we want to find out this information first that Jim brought up?
I think we can go ahead and do this and then they can explore that.
I can explore it and then I can take it back in front of the board and just be back where we're at on doing an amendment to it one more time.
A second.
You don't need an ordinance number. It's 2023.
Okay.
2023. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
Did you second your motion?
Mark said we gotta vote on it.
2, okay. All right, motion seconded, ordinance number assigned to it. Any more discussion? All aye? Aye. Okay, Mandy?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, SJCA fee proposal. Mr. Robbins.
Yeah, so this is a fee proposal to evaluate Bridge 133, which is Morris Place over Honey Creek. So you may know that we had a bridge failure on that one. We had a box beam that failed on that system about 8 months ago or so. So that bridge has been down to one lane. There are some other issues with that bridge, with the abutments and things. So having SJCA take a look at that, evaluate that bridge to see if it's a rehab candidate or if we need to go to replacement. So just want to make sure we're doing the right thing for that bridge, and SJCA's provided a fee proposal for that. Terry did look at the contract, had a couple changes that have been included in this new draft. The fee to do this was $22,000.
Larry, for the record, can you tell us where that bridge is at?
And so it's Morris Place over Honey Creek, so it's just north of 63 on Morris Place. It's the south route to get into SNDA. Michael Stevenson is here from SJCA with any questions, or I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have them as well.
When did that go down to one lane?
We closed it, I think it was the first part of September. I think it was about a month after that, we opened up to one lane after we evaluated, had our bridge inspector come down, take a look at it, and make sure we could do that at one lane. So it's been probably one lane for 7 months now or so.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All by aye. Thank you.
Thank
All right, county credit cards. for,
Okay, there's a whole bunch of them.
oh, I thought we just had one before our department.
You have a group of them, you've had some people leaving and some people coming, and they've kind of gotten, so we tried to do them all at once. I'll try to give you a stack.
Through, okay. Through through the auditor's control.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. All right. All right.
Yeah, each one of them has that. So each one of them is separate, and then this is, like, he's gonna get it and he approved it. So, like, some of it, you just like, you guys just have to approve it.
Okay.
Most of these, it's the
Mark.
same, they just take the spot of someone else.
Yeah.
And Mark and
So that was like
That's-
Jim White for Ricky.
Maintenance, building maintenance. Group homes. Harrison Township. Harrison Township. Purdue Extension. Okay. County Attorney.
It should be highway and white.
It is.
Adult Protective Services.
Adult Protective Services.
Okay.
Health Department. Health Department. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the credit card agreement.
Second.
All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Amendment Professional Service RJL for American Rescue Act. You wanna take this one, Chris?
So it's obviously gonna take a lot of time and effort from Baker Tilly and RJL. These next two agenda items, 6 and 7, are for RJL Solutions and Baker Tilly. Both groups and entities have been extremely involved in how we came up with what we're choosing to do with American Rescue Plan Act funds. And then Jason Simler, Caitlin, all those folks from Baker Tilly have guided us to make sure everything we're doing is legal and on the up and up, and ultimately, at some point, Bruce is laughing at me,
No, he's laughing.
we're gonna get audited, and we wanna make sure that we're covering all bases. Jason and Baker Tilly has done a great job working with Cheryl and Jimmy and those folks in the auditor's office. So both of these are amendments. We have agreements in place with both of these entities already, but it's gonna take quite a bit more money to get these things accomplished. These are just amendments or addendums to those. I'll go ahead and give the price here for RGL Solutions. It's 1.5% of all the American Rescue Plan Act money we received. So that's to the tune of $309,000. That's not coming from the county's budget, that's coming from American Rescue Plan Act funds that we received. We can administer all these things to there. So RGL Solutions, that's that. Jason and Baker Tilly haven't really given us a price yet. It's more of just standard hourly rates by the person doing the work. So we'll know more once they start billing us for the certain different projects that we bring along when we ask for appropriations for American Rescue Plan Act funding. So both of these are just, basic amendments to their current contracts that we have. We just need to approve them, get them signed so they can continue their work as we move forward with the council and we get the projects finished or completed. Started, finished, completed. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer. If there are no questions, I'll make a motion to approve RGL Solutions amendment to their contract and Baker Tilly's amendment to their contract.
I would second.
Any other questions? All by aye?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay, let's do that. Look like comments from the public. Oh, we got to do our insurance, sorry.
No, I was not.
Jason was written in here. You're right in. Jason Lester.
You said, okay.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jason Lester with Sycamore Insurance. We're the benefits broker for the county's employee benefits for about the past 5 years. So it's hard to believe it's that time of year to talk about benefits renewal. It is. Have some good news in the sea of ever rising prices due to inflation. It's nice to deliver some good news. I don't have these news very often. For the ancillary coverages, which would encompass the dental with Paramount, vision with Sun Life and VSP being the network, the group life provided by Sun Life, United Healthcare, as well as the transplant policy, there was no increase in premium from the current rates to the rates that would be effective July 1st. So there would be no increase to the employee or county cost, which is good news. I would recommend that you stay with all those companies and carriers as we get feedback from the employees that there's a high level of satisfaction. Just to note, the transplant policy alone has saved the county $1.2 million in claims since 2018. So that's an important policy to keep in place. Moving on to the breadth of my materials is the health and prescription drug plan. The third-party administrator that administers claims is United or UMR. I would recommend staying with UMR and their United Choice network. We've also negotiated some better rates with Union Medical. The employees will not see any difference in services, just the county will enjoy a better discounted rate from Union Hospital. Optum Rx is the prescription benefit manager. I would recommend staying with them as well. Now, the county insures the first $100,000 of each claim, that we purchase insurance above $100,000 on each medical claim. To retain that $100,000 deductible, for lack of a better term, it would increase the cost $272,000 a year to the county. We have an offer on the table to switch carriers from Sun Life to Tokyo Marine. County has worked with Tokyo Marine in the past, very reputable company, A++ rated carrier. With increasing that deductible from $100,000 to $125,000, the county will save $426,485. That represents 24.7% of the fixed cost. So the fixed cost would go down that much. So I would recommend moving the specific deductible to $100,000 to $125,000. Overall, it's hard to predict claims. If we all had a crystal ball, it would be a lot easier to know exactly what our claims are going to be. But with inflation, we're looking at the total cost of the plan increasing 3.5%, or around $266,000 beginning July 1st through June 30th of 2024. So are there any questions on that? I went through a lot of numbers. I guess the main takeaway really is just increasing the stop loss deductible from $100,000 to $125,000 to save $426,000 in fixed cost. So everyone loves to talk about insurance at 9 a.m. in the morning, I know, but are there any questions from anyone?
Our current insurance for that risk of $100,000, their premium, they're asking for what kind of a percentage increase?
They're asking for a 15% increase, so yes, or so 252,000. So it would have cost 15% more than what you're currently paying. We were able to secure another offer from Tokyo Marine, which is actually 25% less than what you're currently paying. So it's like almost like a $750,000 swing from what it could be to what we have on the table.
Okay. Any other questions?
Any department heads or employees of Beale County government have any questions for Jason while he's here?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
It may just be my stupidity, but you mentioned the switching to the Tokyo as a savings of $400,000+. But before that, you had mentioned that the increase from the deductible going from the 100 to 120 is an increased cost of $260,000. So if they didn't switch, it would be 700,000?
If they wouldn't switch, actually, it would be $252,000 more than what's currently paid right now.
So by switching, there's nothing more than what it's currently paying right now?
By switching, we're saving $426,000. Did I answer your question? I don't feel like it.
Stop loss, it took us about 15 minutes to wrap it around our heads.
I don't know. I guess I'm trying to decide, in the grand scheme of things, did it go down or is it still going up?
In the grand scheme of things, the fixed costs are going down. There's a little bit more exposure to the county with the stop loss going from 100 to 125,000. So hard to predict how many claims you're going to have over $100,000 a year, between 100 and 125. Actuarially, it says 6.7. Historically, it's going back to 2018. We've had 3, there's 11 1 year, 8 and 5. So no matter, there's not been historically a year in the last 6 years that you would not have saved money by making this choice.
Okay.
Everybody stay healthy.
And to the health insurance comment, the plan experienced higher claims in the last 2 years. Just, we all know coronavirus and COVID, but a lot of folks delayed getting medical services. And from 21 to 22, there was an uptick in claims just from people going to get those services they may have put off during the pandemic. So that's, we're looking for, knocking on wood, we're looking for a more favorable claims year. So are the actuaries. Thank you for the question, though.
Is it appropriate to say how many claims we had over $100,000?
You certainly, you had 5 this past year. Yeah,
But that's trending down,
that is trending down, yes.
which is great.
Yeah, yes,
Biggest 2 years were 2021, 21, 22, those were COVID.
correct, Mark.
Other than that, the 2 years prior, everybody sees this,
Yeah.
it's from 3 and 3.
That's, yeah, they're kind of paying, the current carrier wasn't able to offer the pricing any longer because they kind of took a beating, for lack of a better term, claims-wise the past few years. So we're fortunate to secure this offer from Tokyo Marine.
So what's the correct motion to make here, Jason, to move forward with HRI and Paramount? for dental?
Sun Life, United Healthcare, and move the stop loss from Tokyo Marine to HCC and retain Sycamore Insurance as your broker.
You got that?
Make sure you put, like, take our increase in it from 100 to 125.
Sure.
I think our goal is to continue the same coverage for all of our employees without increasing costs, and this is obviously one way to do that at a pretty low risk, it looks like to me.
It does make sense, yes, it does make sense, and I can kind of talk about, like I said, insurance all day long, but looking at benchmark data, comparable size groups, there are 455 employees covered. In comparable size groups from 400 to 499, their average deductible is $175,000. In public administration, which this is the county would fall under public administration, their average deductible is $170,000. The state of Indiana, for the similar size groups, $120,000. So we're not exactly going out of bounds or doing anything that's not doesn't have data to support this. So
We don't have to adopt anything today, do we? It's just a presentation.
This is only good through April 30th.
April 30th, yeah, the offer expires.
April 30th, that's correct. For the Tokyo Marine.
Correct.
I'll make a motion to approve HRI Paramount for dental, Sun Life for vision, Sun Life for group life, United Healthcare for group life, AD&D, and also recognizing that raising our stop loss from 100,000 to 125,000, and also retaining Sycamore as our brokerage firm.
I second that.
Motion is second. All by aye?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
I sure hope you come tomorrow too, we need more to talk about insurance.
It's my life's work. I enjoy it.
You
I'll
don't
sit right
three
here.
days in a row.
Yeah, right.
Now, comments from public. Comments from commissioners or other elected officials. Norm, I see you here. You got any update on program? Security?
What would you like? I just came to observe.
Okay. I just wondered if
Didn't have to
there's anything
speak
you wanted to
prepared.
speak to.
Haven't you missed him? He's been gone.
Oh,
Back
okay.
today.
I just got back from vacation. just prepared
Gary's missed him, I know.
Okay.
I got to update everyone on Spring Hill if you want.
Sure.
So for those who don't know, Spring Hill Road did close yesterday from 7th to Canal. It's a hard closure from 7th to 12th. There is access to all those businesses, all those homes from the east from Canal. You cannot access it from 7th Street. So anyone traveling through that area, if you're just traveling through, please use the detour to Davis Avenue. If you have business on Spring Hill, or you're going to visit someone, or you live on Spring Hill Road, you can access it from the canal side or the neighborhoods, but we really don't want to cut through traffic using the neighborhood, so we prefer to use the detour route if you're just passing through. That closure will be 90 days at least, and then we will be open to a second phase of the MOT plan. Will allow for one lane travel eastbound.
Just curious, does that affect the BMV?
No, BMV is on Margaret.
Oh, you're on Spring further down.
Good question.
Yeah.
And that's expected through when, November, is that right?
At least through November for construction. I'm hoping that we can get it all done in this construction season. With the delay, some of the utility relocations, they should have been, their updated schedules were they're gonna complete mid-March. We're a month and a half behind that now. I'm hoping that we can get it all done. Contractors gonna do their best. I think they, it's in their best interest to get it done this year as well. Their costs go up another year as well, so to avoid any change orders or time extensions or anything like that, I hope we can get it done. Hopefully for a smooth construction process, and hopefully everything can go well.
How's things going in the treasurer's office, Madam Treasurer?
Very busy. I will probably update the commissioners and open too on how we are progressing on with Invoice Cloud as far as the taxpayers that have signed up for e-statements or auto pay and such. They compile a report may be presented next week or so. We are very busy.
I have a few things.
Certainly.
One note is the council meeting next week is Wednesday the 3rd, not on Tuesday.
And it's
Back in the council chambers, our commissioners meeting will be Wednesday the 3rd, because back in the council chambers, because of,
All right, and they get all the stuff down.
they promised me.
Yeah, I know, I gotta be in here by 7.
Yeah, they promised. So we're gonna hold them to it. That's why I said it publicly.
So if they don't see you down there, come down here.
Next week, the commissioners have 4 things on the council's agenda, and I'd like to discuss those real quick. I think it's important for all employees to hear. One thing that Commissioner Klinkenbeard did was reach out and work with Norm and some other people on getting a security x-ray machine in the Vigo County Government Center. That's on the agenda. That will be on the northeast side, so everybody will still come in through that one door. Thank you to the council for giving us additional building security. Norm will get an additional x-ray scanner at his building too, or at least in the courts area. Courts area. Mr. Newman, Mr. Childs, thanks for being here. We appreciate you guys. So that's on the agenda. Mark's also worked with getting estimates for repainting and kind of doing a little rehab work on block work on community corrections building. With Mr. Watson, we'll all work together on if that funding gets approved on selecting colors and stuff like that. Also buildings at 13th Street, we have 2 buildings there that have records and election equipment storage and stuff like that, repainting those buildings. The commissioners, Mr. Morris, did make an investment last year, a year before, on putting a roof on it. So we are investing in those buildings to make sure they're good and secure. We have a request to remove the International Paper Building down near the mill. It's important to note that that building is not a part of the mill. It It does not belong to the mill, it belongs to the Butte County Commissioners, it's just another building that we own, that's dilapidated, and we need to do something with it. We have set this standard as a community and as a county that we are looking at people with their homes that are trashy, dilapidated, and we're expecting them to clean up their properties. I expect us to do the same. So we're at a building down south where visitors are coming, and we're gonna ask for the funding to remove that building and make it safer for the community. What's the fourth thing? Can't remember.
Rescue.
Oh, the American Rescue Plan Act. It's something we brought to the council last year. They wanted a whole plan, which is fine. Larry, we'll work with RJL Solutions on properly getting those projects bid, but that's a $2.1 million request to replace some boxes, culverts, do some road work and stuff like that. So we have a lot on the agenda next month, and we're excited to get these projects hopefully funded and completed. That's all I got.
Good, so,
A lot of collaborative work's gone into going through this in about 20 minutes. So, thank everybody. So, we've got a few more jobs on that need to be completed, so we'll keep working on that. Anything else? We are recessed. All right.
John Price. Pretty good.
No, it's fine.